Commentator and a Clinton supporter. Matt Schlapp is back. He's a Trump surrogate and former political director for George W. Bush. Gentlemen, welcome back to both of you.
Hello,
and
Brody here.
Bill Press, just out of the gate. I mean, you have Republicans, when you look at these numbers saying, we told you so. Are they right?
Wait a minute. You've got Bernie Sanders and me saying, we told you so, okay?
Were you right?
Yes. I'm not going to spin this anyway. Obamacare is a mess, all right? Bernie was right in the sense that when he talked about Obamacare, he said the problem is it leaves the insurance companies and the drug companies in charge. They can still screw consumers any way they can think of it, and we show now that they really are. And the only long-range solution is to go to single payer. But
so how should Hillary Clinton respond to this?
Exactly. That's where I'm going. Right.
Reading your mind, Bill. Reading your mind.
Hillary Clinton is also right when she says we got to fix it, and the short-term fix is a public plan option, so people can get away from the insurance companies, buy into Medicare for everybody. Even President Obama now supports that, and that's a short-term solution. And a single payer in the long run. The other thing, I just want to emphasize what Allison said. I think it's important to keep in mind. This is bad, but the people who will be hurt by these increased premiums can get a subsidy, which means all of us taxpayers will be paying for that, not the individual consumer.
All right, so I appreciate that answer. And Matt Schlapp, you know, this is how a lot of Democrats are saying, hey, we expected this to happen. This is all part of the evolution. You know, we set the premiums low to try to draw people in. Growing pains, it's not perfect. Do you buy that?
Well, I think you just let Bill keep talking. I'm happy to give him my time.
All right, I will.
Bill, you're an honest man, and what Bernie Sanders said, and it's one of the reasons why Bernie Sanders has cross appeal even with some folks that don't like the government so much, is look, Obamacare was never going to work. These state exchanges were always really fraudulent. Really what a lot of liberals wanted was one federal controlled, administered insurance program for Americans, which is what many people like Bernie Sanders would like. And you have people on the right who have said the way Obama went about Obamacare, you were actually going to get the worst of all worlds. You actually were going to get skyrocketing insurance premiums, which obviously Americans are hurting, and it really is sensitive to them, the fact that their premiums are going up so high, and you're actually not going to get better health care coverage, as we've seen doctors exit and insurance companies exit this rather confusing, what they like to call marketplace. It's really not a marketplace. And so we have the worst of all worlds. I think the country is either going to have to go towards a single payer, which will be obnoxious to a lot of voters, and Democrats usually don't like to talk about, and Hillary Clinton sure isn't talking about it, or we have to go back to the idea of market forces in our health care. Yes, we have to have certain minimum expectations, but the number one thing we want is America. America has the best health care on the globe, and we don't want to do anything to damage that because lives are at stake.
Well,
let me come back if I can, Brooke.
Billy, let me just jump in, because Bill, I'm coming to you. But I'm sure Hillary Clinton will talk about this today, and Bill, you may be prescient in the sense that what you hit on may be exactly what we hear from her. But if I may go back a few weeks to another Bill Clinton, where I'm sure you know where I'm going. I'm sure the Hillary camp in Brooklyn was none too thrilled when he said this just a couple weeks ago, perhaps being a tad too honest. Roll it.
So you've got this crazy system where all of a sudden 25 million more people have health care, and then the people are out there busting it sometimes 60 hours a week, wind up with their premiums doubled and their coverage cut in half. It's the craziest thing in the world.
Would you agree? Was he speaking the truth?
Well, I must admit I laughed the first time I heard Bill Clinton say that. I just laughed again because I felt like he must have read my book. Buyer's Remorse, when I talked about, among other things, Obamacare. But I have to make this point, Brooke, with all the problems with Obamacare, here's where I disagree with Matt. It's still a hell of a lot better than what we used to have. 20 million people have health insurance, could never afford it before. There are some good features to it, like kids being able to stay on their parents' health care until 26. Allison mentioned some of those. The fact you can't get denied because of a pre-existing condition. And it's certainly better than nothing, which is all the Republicans have come up with. So for the short term, again, the thing is to fix it, and to fix it is to increase availability, give people a chance to get into Medicare, which is the most efficient and the least costly medical care provided to Americans today.
Let me jump in on that, if you don't mind, Brooke.
Go ahead.
I want to see Bill Press keep talking, and I actually, for the first time in my life, would like to hear Bill Clinton keep talking about this, because we do all know that what we have And the American people know that what we have isn't the right alternative because it's never been popular in the polls. And the problem with what Bill is saying is, Bill, with all respect, I'd like to decode that a little bit. What he's really saying is that we need more people who are working to pick up more of the expenses. The people who are having trouble paying all their bills to actually have to pay higher expenses for everybody else. And this is the problem in America, is that those folks who are working are not seeing their incomes go up. They haven't seen them go up for a decade. It's not just Obama. It was in the Bush years, too. We can't keep expecting them to pay for everything for others. Eventually, the system breaks, and that's why we have so much discontent.
And is that a line, hang on, is that a line that you think we should hear from Donald Trump pounding this message into the ground for the next 2 weeks, especially in states like Arizona, where those premiums will go up, where Hillary Clinton's trying to turn a red state into a blue state, going up 19%. It could work for him.
Brooke, let me just say quickly, Bill, and then I'll be quiet, which is it's the number one reason on the minds of voters, which is they feel economic insecurity because their prices are going up and their salaries are not.
Yeah, first of all,
can Trump stay on message?
I was just going to go to that point. Of course, it's a good opening for Donald Trump, but he has shown so far in a year and a half no ability to stay on message. So he'll be talking about something, probably Miss Universe today. But I want to back to Matt's point. Look, let me be clear. I am not defending Obamacare. I told you Obamacare is a mess.
Buyer's remorse, I know.
But the point that I'm making was that, and I'm not for this, but the individual consumer won't feel the bite because the subsidies are available, and it's the general taxpayers that are going to pay the bite, which is, again, why a single-payer system is a better system, and we eventually have to get there. If it's good enough for Sweden and Canada and the UK and France, God, it's good enough for us.
All right. Well, we'll see how Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, how they handle it, how they continue talking about it today. Matt Schlapp, Bill Press, thank you both so much. Thank you.